It looks like it's finally time. What's up guys, Pencil here, and here we are to do a nice little breakdown / reaction and review of Eternal Flame's Panda, how a character got turned into a joke. Now, notably, I think Eternal Flame is just like me for real, and also doesn't like Panda. But this does seem like a more genuine narrative analysis video. So like, depending on how it goes, it may get a little bit mean. But it'll probably be for me. It will most likely be for me. It looks like Eternal Flame. Like, I see his top comment. Like, I think it's, I'm not sure if it's his pinned. It's it's in the comments box. And it says, after thinking a lot more about the video, I've realized my hate for Panda may be a little bit misplaced. I don't hate Panda. I hate what the story has done for him and turned him into. So I take back my hate for Panda. Somewhat. I don't. But we'll see if this video convinces me otherwise. I don't know. It's pretty deep-seated. So let's not waste any more time and let's hop right into it. Alright, editing me. Are you ready? 3, 2, 1, go.
Now before we start this video, I do want to say thank you.
Man, we got right into it once again. Golly. I know I do this like every single time I react to an Eternal Flame video. Oh, by the way, I'm going to be yapping extensively. The original video is 9 minutes and 34 seconds long. I can promise you we're going to be here for longer than 9 minutes and 34 seconds. So if you want to check out the original video without my endless yapping in between, do me a favor. In fact, do me a favor regardless. Go to Eternal Flame's comment. Not just his comments. I mean, go to his comments and tell him I sent you, for one. But two, go check out Eternal Flame's channel. It'll be linked in the description down below. And check out the original video, which will also be linked in the description down below. Please do. He's a fantastic channel. Fantastic intro, fantastic commentary, fantastic ideas, fantastic reviews. He's a fantastic content creator. Go check him out. He's fantastic. But let's actually hop into the video itself.
Now before we start this video, I do want to say thank you all for getting me to 7,000 subscribers. This is
Congratulations. At the time, this is 1 day later. He's now at like 7,080, I think, or something along those lines, based on what it's saying, and that's fantastic. I'm very happy to see a lot of other creators growing at massive rates too, because that's good. That's good. I think the more diversity of opinion we have in the JJK community, the better. Not like the JJK community is like centralized right there, or even just any community really, but just the more creators, the better on a whole. And I think the development of a channel definitely contributes to the consistency to want to create, and the more creation that are out there, the better. At least that's how I view things. I know people view things differently from me, but I'm happy. Shout out to my boy for getting 7K.
such an amazing journey that I've been able to go on all of you with. This like is an entire dream for me, to be honest, so I'm kind of just shocked that we were able to get this far. But yeah, I'm just really thankful for each of you being here, for us even being able to get this far. Like, I kind of don't even know what to say, I'm gonna be honest with y'all. But yeah, thank you all for getting me to 7,000 subscribers, and yeah, I hope you all have a good day. So, without a further ado, let's get into the character analysis of Panda. And most of all...
It is a character analysis. Why would you analyze trash, though? Like, I don't get it. I really, personally, honestly, from the depths of my core, don't understand it, but I trust Eternal Flame. Let's see what he's cooking.
My explanation for why I hate Panda so much as a character. However, to first understand why I hate Panda so much, I do need to explain my interpretation of Panda and Panda as a character as a whole to the narrative. So, let's get into it. Panda is one of the 4 second years at Jujutsu.
Ooh, okay. So, to quickly give an idea, Panda is meant to be comic relief. He is. I don't think there's any, like, other way to put it. He's meant to be comic relief that plays into the complicated nature of the Jujutsu world. Like, all biases aside, that's the point of the character, at least from my view. Like, notably, whenever he's described in any external materials, it's just, he's a panda. And, like, he does nothing. Like, he beat Mechamaru, but he beat one Mechamaru. Okay. But other than that, he's, what, lost every fight? Has contributed nothing? And overall, it's kind of just a waste of space. And it seemed like Gege was trying to give them some sort of character depth. The moment when Yaga got Yaga... Okay, to be fair, Yaga's hair did not get yanked and his head didn't fall off. But, like, when Yaga got in the whole when Pandas cry scene, like, that was meant to do something. And it made me believe there may have been something. But then Tokyo 2 happened. And Panda Did nothing again. Got absolutely annihilated by Kashimo, and now he didn't even get the dignity of perishing. Like, notably, dignity is a loose term, but at least he could have joined his father then. But, no. Instead, we still have him doing nothing. He's like this bit, like, there's no point to him anymore. And, I don't know. Like, notably, I'm not... And it's not necessarily a necessity. You can have characters who are exclusively there for comic relief, right? Like, it's not a horrid thing. I'm not gonna, oh, gosh darn it, no funny in my story, especially in my serious JJK fight No, the series is called Sorcery Fight. Like, I know not everything has to be serious. And I even understand the ability to, and not even just understand, I respect the ability to have an extremely serious series, yet counterbalance it. I have it on me. And I keep it on me at all times. Caught y'all lacking. Thought I forgot because I did. But with that being the case, also, I don't even think I said what's up, guys. Like I was about to say. But with that being the case, that aside, back to the analysis. Like, you can have comic relief characters in your story, and you can have those comic relief characters serve no purpose other than comic relief. I think that is true. I think there is a way to do it, and I think there's a way to do it well. I can't tell you how to do it well because I'm not a good writer. But, like, in my opinion, Panda's just not a good example of that. And he's not funny. Like that's the, I guess that's the cardinal issue when it comes to Panda. He's just not funny to me. And like, I don't know. I even the people who I know are Panda fans, people who I'm friends with, who are Panda fans, they can't tell me a single funny moment of his. I've asked numerous times. I literally have asked, what do you like about the character? And they say what Gege says. He's just a panda. I think that's funny. The joke wears off the first time you hear it. Sure. Was I also like, haha, funny panda thing doing parkour in the intro? Yeah. And then I wanted something, and I got nothing. And he's still alive. Like, I don't know. This is the same man who's dropped numerous characters of much greater importance. And even characters of lesser importance. Why is he still breathing? The fact that there's a high likelihood that he makes it to the end because he doesn't show up is horrifying to me. But then again, Toto's still alive, so I'll take Toto. So I don't know. I've never necessarily gotten the appeal of Panda beyond a comic relief character. And ultimately, the reason I don't like Panda so much is because the more serious characters in JJK are consistently more funny than him when they want to be. When Gege writes them to be. Whether it be Itadori, whether it be Sukuna, whether it be Gojo, whether it be Kashimo, whether it be Yuta. Like, all these characters, Maki even, these characters have been funny. And there are other characters who are introduced with comic aspects to them, like Daido and like Mio, who also just have good characters. And serve good roles in the narrative and making characters stronger. Like Maki and Sakurajima. Like, you can do both. Like, you don't, Panda just feels like a concrete example of bad writing. Bad writing / not knowing what to do with the character. But at the same time, that's probably the point. Like, once again, I'm not claiming I'm a better writer than Gege. I'm not even claiming I don't have a literature degree. But at least to me, Panda always feels like genuine waste. I don't see the appeal, don't see the point, don't like the character. But let's see what Eternal Flame has to say. That's my shot on my Panda analysis, real quick. So let's see what Eternal Flame's got.
Too high. Alongside Yuta Akotsu, the youngest special grade of them all, Maki, the next heavenly restriction wielder and the one set free of cursed energy, and Toga Inumaki, a member of the Inumaki clan with the snake fang markings. Despite the fact that Panda is a literal walking, talking, stuffed animal, you'd think he'd stand out more, but he doesn't really stand out more in comparison, with each of them getting moments to shine. Yuta Akotsu getting several battle moments and being the original main protagonist. Maki Zenin getting her entire moment of taking out the entirety of the Zenin clan, and then later on fighting against Cursed Naoya with her own colony dedicated to her. And even Inumaki getting a little bit more time to shine in comparison to Panda, being able to show off just how metal they are by directly launching Hanami back through their curse technique. Getting a moment directly against the main villain of that.
I didn't even think about it from that way, but that's also true. What does Panda actually provide outside of the first initial appearance when his contemporaries all do better? And are also strange exceptions to the rules. The Inumaki clan is established to be weird, and cursed speech is weird. And don't get me wrong, I also don't think Inumaki's that good of a character. I think he's barely a character. But, like, still, better than Panda. Maki, clearly better than Panda. Yuta, clearly better than Panda. And they're all exceptions in their own unique ways. So Mr. Panda over here, his only exception is the fact that he's Panda. but nothing else comes from, like, there's no more uniqueness from that. It's the failure and then the immediate transition and trying to make it something more only to immediately deny it. What was Panda's unique thing? He could transform. He can't do that anymore. And the one time he did transform to this super secret powerful third sister, it got one-tapped. We don't even know what it does. It's gone. The Gorilla Core, gone. Most of Panda's biomass, gone. And the only person who could hypothetically fix him, gone. We got nothing. Like there's legit nothing for the character, especially in comparison to his contemporaries. Honestly, at least Momo has something behind her character. Is it good? No. But, like, just something behind her character. Miwa had something behind her character. Her moment against Kenjaku, while extremely embarrassing, it's still a moment. Still plays into the character and the function and the role and the general implications and understanding of Jujutsu society. And don't get me wrong, Panda does that too. Like I said, the whole reason his dad gets got is because of him. But, like, it feels like that's a plot point that is introduced as important the same moment it fails and concludes. Like, we found out Gaku Ganji was a special grade, and then he perished. In, like, the same 2 chapters. If it was even 2 chapters, I forget, because it's that irrelevant. I don't know, he's whack. Let's see.
Respective arc, which just made all 3 of them stand out in the mind, and Panda kind of just stays in the background. Even in Shibuya, Inumaki had a much greater role of just making sure people were evacuated because of his curse technique, while Panda was kind of treated more like a joke in comparison and just used to make Sukuna and Jogo look cooler. With Panda's greatest moment being the defeat of Mechamaru directly.
And the funny thing about that moment, it makes Joko even more embarrassing. Like, in retrospect. I'm sorry, you mean to tell me that Jogo, with his maximum technique, the fastest of the disaster curses, this unregistered special grades, your technique is so slow that when Sukuna told everyone, including Panda of all characters, to wait until the absolute last second to dodge, they still dodged it? Like, Panda actually makes other characters less impressive by existing. How do you even do that? How do you even do that? And, like, not in a good way. Not in a good way. Like, Sukuna makes other characters look less impressive by simply existing. How Gojo makes other characters look less impressive by simply existing. No, it takes away the prestige of other characters by existing. That's what Panda does. I'm not supposed to like the character? Like, but yeah, he's bringing up Mechamaru, which makes sense.
And even then, Mechamaru isn't really considered that impressive by most people to begin with, especially considering he needed his brother in order to defeat Mechamaru. You might think that I'm just some super secret Panda fan and I want Panda to shine out, but that's actually something I really like about Panda, that he doesn't stick out so much because of the fact that it makes these times that he does try and help, it makes the things that he does help just stick out that much more when you read back on things. For example,
I guess? But no, at least to me, and I've been accused, and I say accused, because it is an accusation, and I don't like being accused of things, so stop it. But people just assume I'm like a big secret Panda fan. I'm not. I just don't like the character. I understand the character's role, form, and function. I just don't like them. I find it funny when people assume I'm a Panda fan, though. I think it's hilarious. But, like, but I genuinely, he's bringing up a fantastic point. The idea of the juxtaposition. And honestly, that is how you want to write a lot of your characters, especially, ironically enough, at least in my opinion, characters of the comic relief format. That's why characters like Beast Boy from the original Teen Titans are so beloved. Because you have the moments up there, constant, silly, crazy jokester, who also happens to be associated with animal transformations. But, oh wow, look at when Beast Boy pops off and he's super powerful and crazy. You have those moments of juxtaposition. They work really, really well. For another example, that's spoilers for a manga that I can't spoil just yet. But, I think this is popular enough that I don't have to worry about spoiling it. Kisuke Urahara from Bleach. A character who's mostly comic relief. Hat and claws. Oh, he's also one of the most powerful and dangerous characters in the entire series. Okay. Juxtaposition. But the issue with Panda is whenever he goes to be juxtaposed, it's either A, the Mechamaru standard, where it's against someone who, no, we don't really have any conception of the power level for, nor do we really respect or care about, and or B, it immediately gets shot down. Like Kashimo. Like Heck Shibuya, ironically enough, with Ume. Like, because, like, who else does he fight and win? Like, I'm genuinely wondering. He doesn't fight Gakuganji. He fights Kashimo and loses. He fought Mekamaru in Kyoto and then didn't do anything after that. And then in Shibuya, he's just running around with Kusakabe up to the Urume fight. Like, he doesn't do anything. There is no positive juxtaposition. I guess it's Mekamaru. But once again, Mekamaru doesn't have anything behind him. At least not at that point. Retroactively, you may be able to go back and, like, put more credit on Panda's name. But still, the more credit Mekamaru you're giving credit to is one that was Ultimate Mekamaru. Kokichi Muda in his strongest variation. Not a single Mekamaru puppet. Like, the vision's not being seen. I don't know. I don't see the juxtaposition working all too well. Heck, there's a character. All Seven Deadly Sins is animated. And I know not many people care about it. So, like, in Seven Deadly Sins, there's a comic relief character who is also a talking animal. His name is Hawk. And don't get me wrong, I have mixed opinions on Hawk. But Hawk is a comic relief character with good juxtaposition. Shockingly good juxtaposition. Juxtaposition. I'm not sure if I'm even saying that word right. This is what happens when I try to use big words. They don't work out too well. But Hawk, from Seven Deadly Sins, is mostly a comic relief character, revealed to be one of the most important characters in the entire series. And it's also a necessity for the saving of another very, very important character in the entire series. They need to be there. You can't remove them. If I remove Panda, what changes? Genuinely, what changes? If anything, characters look better. I am more hyped that Kusakabe dodged Maximum Meteor, and that Geto's family did, rather than Panda. I mean, Mekamaru doesn't have somebody to fight, so maybe he goes and jumps somebody else, but I don't remember enough of Goodwill to think it actually matters all too much. Who's he gonna go fight? Yuji? What happens there? Maybe Nobara gets jumped, but I don't think Mekamaru's gonna off Nobara. I don't think Mekamaru's gonna go off Megami. Like, maybe try Maki, but who knows? Maybe we get Maki. Heck, that may have been even better. Mekamaru and Miwa versus Maki, even though Maki would have been jumped, and that would take him cut into like the Mai stuff. But like, it doesn't matter. He is legit one of the few characters, and I think the reason this gets me in JJK so much, especially, is because JJK is so tightly written that if you try to remove a character, or even shift a character's place on the timeline, like their location, things change. It's basically impossible to remove Nobara from the narrative, because then certain characters perish. Or don't get the motivation that they need, or don't get the awakening that they need. You can't remove Nobara. But she's a female lead. Okay. Important. Maki. Female lead of the original series, but by the time of the secondary series, you try to remove Maki, things can't happen. You try to remove Inumaki, things can't happen. Well, characters make it got sooner. So, like, you can't remove Inumaki, especially heck from the original series, but you could argue Inumaki was the deuteragonist of JJK Zero. But even then, in the main timeline, you can't really remove Inumaki. Which is impressive, considering how little he does. You can't, obviously, you're not Yuji. But, like, heck, you remove Kashimo and things get weird. And you remove Higuruma and things get weird. Like, these characters who are less than 100 chapters old, you remove them from the narrative and plot breaks. But if I remove Panda, a character from the original series, which came out, like, what, darn near a decade ago at this? Okay, maybe not a decade. That may be dragging it. I forget when JJK Zero came out. But, like, a long time ago, I remove Panda and nothing changes? Or at least nothing drastic changes? What does that say about your character? In a series where every character is pivotal. I don't know. Sounds like you suck! And that's how I feel about Panda, but let me stop. I've been yapping intensely. I'm only 3 minutes into the video. Not even, I'm in 2.
Panda is the reason that Megami and Maki were able to escape and allow Yuji and Todo to fight against Hanami with nothing to worry about, because Panda
I guess. Yeah, okay. He got me. I won't even try to argue it, because I'll take things. Whatever. There you go, there's one. You get one, Panda. Let's see. He probably got more. Let's see.
Them away. Panda was able to give Yuji a familiar face after the entire battle with Mahito had just finished happening, and most of all, in one of Panda's greatest moments, he chose not to tell Kashimo that Yuji was the vessel of Sukuna despite knowing, choosing instead to go and die with the knowledge, something that Kashimo respected Panda for. And if I'm being honest, if Panda was destroyed right then and there in that moment, choosing to go down with the...
I would like that. But you know what? I'll give him it. He brought up 3 moments I didn't even think of. I mean, admittedly, I think the whole Yuji thing's kind of irrelevant. Like, notably, Todo had already reawakened him to a degree that, like, it wouldn't have really mattered. But, hey, Panda's Panda. Fine enough. And the carrying away, I completely forgot about that. Once again, I haven't read Goodwill in a while, nor have I watched the anime for Goodwill. I think, like, ever in totality. So, like, there you go. You got me. Still don't care, though. You can't remove him from the narrative now, though. So you can remove that last 5 minutes of rant. But still, it ain't doing it for me, Bucko. It really ain't. But let's see.
Knowledge.
Oh, and for the whole Kashima thing. Yeah. I guess. But guess what? If Panda wasn't in the narrative, he wouldn't have even had a chance to try and figure out who Sukuna's vessel was. And the only reason Kashima knew that Panda knew is because he gave away a reaction. If he was a better character, he wouldn't have. And regardless, because someone tried to convince me, one tried to convince me that Akari versus Kashima would not have happened if Panda didn't. Whoa! Drink your water, folks, or you'll be like me and stumble in the middle of sentences. Stay hydrated. But a person tried to argue with me. I say argued. He brought up the point, but he was like, "Hey, Hikari versus Kashima wouldn't have happened without it would have. That was the whole point. They entered that colony. Like, they entered the colony for Hikari versus Kashima was going to happen anyway. Arguably, if you remove Charles out of the way, then more problems happen. Because then Hikari wouldn't get jackpot. It would be Kashimo versus base Hikari. And I think we know how that goes. So, no, he's not necessary for that. But I get it. And I agree with Eternal Flame. If he went down there, good stuff. But of course, that's the haterade in me coming out.
That he had been able to save Yuji just a little bit from this person who was hunting him down, I would have liked Panda a lot more. I would not have hated him anywhere near as much. He goes down in the one aspect he has constantly showed off throughout the series and still shows off to this day. His loyalty to his friends, which is something I admire about Panda, the only thing I actually like about that thing. But you now might be wondering this.
That thing was motivated. I respect that. I respect that. That thing was motivated. But what was I gonna say? And you know what? Loyalty, I guess, is something I can respect. But I think the reason I don't care, even though it's for Panda, is because every other character in the series is loyal. It's not an exceptional trait. Yuji, loyal. Megami, loyal. Nobara, loyal. Gojo, loyal. Geto, not loyal. Kind of, sort of. No, he's still loyal, honestly, in a way. Heck, even Sukuna, to some certain degree, is kind of loyal, admittedly to his own ideals. Urume, loyal. I can probably go through almost every single character in the series and name loyalty. So Panda having that trait, while it's good, I'll admit, that is a good point. Once again, I don't think about Panda too much in any sort of positive light. So I am happy that Eternal Flame is slowly but surely shifting my perspective to something slightly less hated. If this is neutral, my haterade, which was previously off-screen, is now, just barely off-screen. It's over here in terms of coming back. But, he's still way too far. It's too far gone now. And notably, I'm not sure if he's going to talk about this, but I'll mention it. A lot of people ask me, well, if Panda does something crazy, if Panda's responsible for Sukuna's defeat or something like that, if he comes in clutch and does something next level, or he comes back as the strongest, someone brought up, the idea of, what if Panda became, Gojo's vessel, right? Maybe Gojo and Geto's vessel, because, it takes two souls and the whole incarnation thing, and Panda's a vessel, stuff like that. Would that make you happy if he became a vessel for a better character? No. Because once again, that's not Panda as a character. And two, I don't want that. I don't want Gojo to come back. I should have mentioned spoilers for the manga. That's whatever. But I don't want Gojo to come back. Don't, didn't, won't, willn't. I genuinely just would prefer not. If he did not, I would greatly prefer that. So, what exactly can Panda do for me? At this point? Nothing! Genuinely nothing. He can do nothing. It's too late. It is genuinely too late at this point. Because I know he's not going to do that. And admittedly, I've said I know things before, and I've been verbatim wrong. But in the case of Panda, no. He won't be important. Yuta couldn't even be important. Well, he was important. Yuta was very important. But, many characters with way more narrative weight than Panda couldn't end up being important. They all fell. And I feel the same way for Panda eventually. And, he may not fall, though, because he just won't show up, presumably. But let's see.
If that's not the reason I dislike Panda, then what is the reason I dislike Panda?
Let's
And
hear
that
it.
is mainly because of what Panda represents. And to talk about what Panda represents, I have to talk about who Panda is as a person, as well as Panda's siblings and how that all forms into this. Panda's identity is simply the fact that he is a joke about the fact that he is a panda, that he is a walking, talking panda. That is all he is considered by the narrative itself. Despite the fact that he wants to be more, despite the fact that he wants to help people more, he keeps being turned into nothing more than a joke. And to make it even worse, he just lives by that as his meaning. As his meaning, as a joke to be that he is just a panda, an annoying little character that should exist in the background that is only there to just be a little bit of a gimmick. That is all he is.
Yeah. I kind of went into the whole like comic relief character, and how there's nothing beyond that, and how once again in extras, KK has not expanded on Panda. He's a panda. Like I specifically think of that page that like went over Yuta, Maki, Inumaki, all that, and like they give little fun facts with the characters. And Panda, he's just a panda. That's all he is. Like I said, that's okay. I just don't like it. I understand if other people do. Don't get me wrong. Like, don't let the hater in me come out and ruin anyone else's fun. I just tell y'all how I feel, because that's what I like to do. And I don't like the character. That's just me, though. That's just me. I understand if other people do. It's not even a case where I'm trying to change anybody's minds. I'm not here to convince you that Panda's a bad character. If you think he isn't, fantastic. My opinion is no more valid than yours. I am not a writer. I do not have my own manga. I don't even have my own like written story. I can't even draw that well. I'm that guy with the pencil, but the drawing ain't that good. Character writing ain't that good in the stories I am writing. But even then, we'll wait in the next like 15 years when I finally get that done. So like, I have no means of. I don't want to have a degree in writing. I have no like in terms of like genuine opinion and laying base. I have nothing. But I don't like the character. And that is a big reason. I can understand why that's like a fundamental core of his dislike, especially considering it is consistently used as a point of regression. No, the last time we see Panda, actually no, I think it's staggered. We see Panda get the even pandas can cry moment. Once again, just reducing him down to his gimmick, right? Like, it's meant to be a more serious moment, but what is it about? Oh, it's not about the fact that he's a son who just lost his father. No, it's the fact that he's a panda that can cry. Ha ha ha. Okay, I get it's more the former, but the bringing up that even pandas can cry, like, that's still reverting back to the innate absurdity of a talking panda bear. But then, the next time you see him, what is he doing? He's in the fighting ring for Akari. And he's making jokes about being a panda. And then he mentions Yaga's... And then we go back to jokes about him being a panda by the time we see him again in Tokyo 2. Like there's no effort. There's effort to seem, to allude, like, not how I do this. There's an effort to sprinkle depth. There's thought. There's little bits of effort. But the contradictory nature of consistently going back to the core, admittedly, ironically enough, Panda, the core of the character, that is what consistently weakens and annoys me. So I agree with the total flip. Yeah, that's a big reason. Let's see.
Is all he has become. For example, Panda's natural instinct when he directly saw Kashima was to act as if he was a panda. Or when characters were asking what Panda was, they just said he was a panda. Most of the time, Panda is just...
Also, he's weird. But, like, yeah. No one even... I didn't even think... No one in the narrative respects it. Do you know how Akari reacts to seeing one of his kohais with their head on a stick? Hey, Panda, have you lost weight? Because it's not serious. No one even respects the character in universe. He's so replicable that the whole reason Yaga was made a special grade is because they saw the vision of just a bunch of pandas running around. Or whatever battle mechs they'd make. But presumably they'd use Panda as the base model. As stupid as that would be. But, like... No one, the narrative itself doesn't take the character seriously. Neither do characters in the narrative. Why should I? And you know why I still like Kashimo, even after the fact that he got slammed on his neck? Because the narrative took him seriously. Up until his point. He had his post-end talk with Sukuna. Do you know why I take characters like Urume seriously, even though in spite of the fact that they're simply a D1 glazer? Because that's clearly an explored part of their character that has more history and legacy behind it than we could know. And seeing their determination and how far they're willing to go for it is actually interesting to me. And their prowess as an individual and their importance to the narrative. All that, they're still taken seriously, treated seriously by the narrative, even though we as a fandom have collectively agreed that Urume is just a glazer. Even Akari Kinji, who, in all intents and purposes, is a meme of a character. Like, a mortal man punch kick good. And regen. He's a meme! Be realistic. But we still take him seriously as a character because he has proper character weight. He has proper character motivations. He's funny. He's lighthearted. In a similar vein to Panda, but he actually has purpose. And he does not simply get reduced to funny man punch. And dance. We as the fandom do that. But that's just because it's one of the most notable traits of the character. Panda? He's got nothing! But let's see.
Utilized for funny gimmicks and funny moments inside of the show, which I would honestly be okay with if that was all Panda was utilized for, as well as being in the background to help pick up his friends. However, it's because of Panda's power set that I really dislike him so much. Now, I want you to think about Panda's powers just for a second and realize just how messed up they actually kind of are. Which Panda's powers are literally taking the form and shape of his siblings, effectively using his siblings as bodies for him to use in order to steal their power and basically use what they were built for and what they gained as his own. Now, yes, I do know both of his siblings willingly give him this power, but it doesn't make it any better for me, in my opinion. Panda is someone who relies on his siblings to be useful. After all, Panda's only shown useful moments is with his siblings directly active. For example, his only victory in the series is because he relied on the power of his brother. The only time he managed to impress Kashimo was because of the fact he relied on the might and power of his brother. He took on the gorilla form in order to fight Geto as well, because his normal form would have been useless against him. And this is why I truly believe that if Panda died against Kashimo, I would have liked him a lot more as a character, because then Panda...
Once again, Eternal Flame opened in my eyes. One, I did think about the grotesque implications of wearing your siblings as armor. Like, I can't even think of a comparison to that. That is also weird and freaky. But, like, yeah, Panda himself is literally useless. Like, verbatim useless. I didn't even think about that. But of course, you know, I'll chalk this up. I'll chalk that up, because I can already hear the defense to this, hypothetically. The defense would be, hey, well, while Panda may be fundamentally and archetypically useless on his own, that's without his curse technique. His curse technique is to, well, kind of, sort of, whatever. I forget what his curse technique actually is. But, like, his whole curse technique is to transform into the gorilla, into the other characters. So isn't that okay? That's saying, like, you're gonna be mad at Megami for being worthless without his technique, or mad at Gojo for being worthless without his technique, or be mad at Kashimo for being worthless without his but the thing is, those characters aren't worthless without their techniques. We've seen Megami box as just Megami. Man's low-key smooth with it. We know Gojo's not worthless without his technique. Did you see him in Shibuya? Did you see him face Tank Malevolent Shrine? We see Kashimo at a 20%, well, like, it goes, if you go with Gojo's statement, like, a sorcerer's technique is 80% of their potential. And then base Kashimo, so he doesn't use his technique, would only be at 20% of his potential. He went head-to-head with a man who had immortality. And made that man with immortality be like, hey, bucko, I really didn't win. All without his technique. You don't need your technique to be good in JJK. You really... Look at Yuji Itadori! He don't got no technique. Recently, he has blood manipulation now, which is... But, like, look at Yuji. He has nothing. And he's still boxing everybody. So, no, I can't excuse it. Yeah. He's trash. Panda on his own is trash. He has to rely on non-existent characters. Yes, because I don't care about the sister or the brother. I think that whole chapter was genuinely a waste of time. Especially in retrospect. Like, the chapter of, like, Ghost Yaga and the whale taking... Like, I still remember reviewing that chapter. I think it's one of the earliest... Not one of the earliest. Because, once again, I was very inconsistent with JJK reviews at first. But it's one of the chapters I reviewed, and I still remember being confused. And not liking it. Way back when. And that was long before the Panda hate was actually solidified. So let's say.
gets to die on the note that he was useful in terms of his loyalty. His loyalty was his main trait, and while he went out knowing that he was able to save his friend in the very end, that his loyalty had come through and that his loyalty was the main thing that he'd be remembered for. But instead, he continues to exist.
You know what the funny thing is, though? He wouldn't even be remembered for that. We as a fandom may remember him for that. Once again, for this new trait of loyalty that has been assigned to him that I didn't even notice. I'll admit, I didn't notice because I didn't really like the character. But, like, in universe, no one would have known. They wouldn't have a clue. They'd be like, oh, Panda got. Well, he was slaughtered anyway. Let's move on. He was just a panda. Makes sense he couldn't fight. That's all that would have come of that. At least from my view. Like, unless I'm tweaking. Like, maybe Hikari would find out. But guess what? Guess what immediately happens afterwards? Hikari says, oh, you want to fight Sukuna? I'll take you to Sukuna. It was that irrelevant. His loyalty didn't even matter in the long run. He could have perished right then and there, only for his efforts to be immediately invalidated because he's that worthless of a character. Like are y'all seeing the vision that I'm seeing? Like, do y'all got your spectacles on? 1 second. Where are you? I know you're here. Don't hide from me. At least I thought you were here. Yeah, there you go. Are y'all seeing the vision? Are y'all seeing the vision? Because Panda couldn't. Neither can his sister and his brother anymore, because they're both gone. He's literally worthless now. Let's see.
Continues to exist in the background as simply just an annoyance. That just exists to be marketing. That just exists to be a panda. To be a panda icon. That is all Panda has become by this point. Where Panda's only useful moments is...
You know what the sad thing is? The sad thing about Panda in particular, as a marketing piece, is the fact that he's so non-specific. Like, and what do I mean by that? Like, pandas are common. Like, whatever marketing, you're just buying a plush panda. There's nothing unique about it. You'd have to buy one of his other forms, which isn't even a panda anymore. Like, the only unique aspect of the character isn't even unique in the grand scheme of things, like on a marketing level, on a like broader scale level. I've never seen someone buy a panda figurine. Why? Because it's just a panda. Why would you want that? Like, why would you want that as a statue? Like, it may be a panda with gloves that have pandas on them, but other than that, that's it. What people want to buy? A Sukuna statue. Why? Because he's a unique character with a unique design. A Maki statue. I don't own that. A Gojo. I don't own that. I don't own anyone. This is a gift. But like, still, he doesn't even succeed in that function because he's so non-specific and so generic, and he just takes away from the seriousness of other scenes. And once again, any sort of seriousness, any sort of interest that would have been generated from the character going through it and losing his siblings, and now truly being alone in the world, where before he lost his father, but now he at least had his siblings to keep him company. He can't even do that anymore. He can't even, he's too small now. He can't even support his friends anymore. His loyalty is literally worthless. He as a character is literally worthless. On a fighting level, on a character level, he takes away from seeing, like, it's why I get so annoyed. Like, especially if you go read the Gojo vs. Sukuna fight, every single time Panda got a panel, I was furious. I genuinely did not, like, he sucked all tension out, and not in a good way. Not in a good way. And the thing is, the reason it bothers me so much with Gege in particular is because I know they know better. Like this is Gege. Like, I know you're better than this. Why are we still on this level? It must be mandated, right? Like, there's no way Gege would actively choose to just suck the tension out of scenes for the funsies, I guess. But hey, what do I know?
Because of the fact he relied on his siblings, where Panda's only use is because him himself was never going to be useful as a combatant, and he needed to rely on his sibling's strength and basically take the form of his sibling for him to win. taking on the identity of his sibling, because Panda himself is worthless, and the only way that Panda can have worth is with his siblings around. That is the reason that I hate Panda so much. Panda does not have any worth at all as a person, because the one thing that I would count as his worth, the one thing that would have been a climactic ending for him, was stolen away from him. And even though he had been given a new chance to life, he had not done anything in order to get stronger. Now, I do think if Panda does get new cores, I'm genuinely going to hate him more, if I'm being completely honest with you. Because
he sees the vision. I thought I was the only... Well, I already mentioned, I don't want Panda to be stronger. I want him gone. Vanished. Banished. Like, whatever. Sukuna, eat him. Turn him into a power pack. Straight don't make him stronger now. It's too late. It is too late. It is too late. Especially now. I do not want Panda to come in after Yuta came in and fell. After Kashimo came in and fell. After Gojo came in and fell. After Higuruma came in and fell. After all these different characters came in and sacrificed themselves. I don't want Panda to cook. I want him gone. I want him gone. I want him genuinely annihilated. Wiped from this plane of reality. Please. Let's see.
That just speaks even more to the fact that Panda himself will eternally be worthless, and that his only purpose to exist will be to get new siblings, to get them to fight his battles for him, to utilize the gains that they directly made for him instead of just doing the work himself in order to get stronger. However, if Panda is able to pull up in the battle and show he himself has value and actually pull off doing something on his own, I think I'd like Panda a lot more. Now, I do also...
I wouldn't, because it wouldn't make sense. Like... It's kind of the ever-present issue with Sukuna as a final antagonist, being as powerful as he is. There are people now, like I've asked around and I've seen it. There are people now, even with Sukuna missing 2 lower arms, having his lower tongue ripped out, his RCT output being in the garbage, and his general CT output being in the garbage, and being honestly at the worst we've ever seen the man. There's still people who think him losing makes no sense. And I don't even blame him, because of how powerful he's set to be, and how much curse energy he still has left, and how dangerous and next level and intelligent and overpowered he is. So if Panda comes out and does anything, as an individual character, Panda, and succeeds in any way, shape, or form, where a character like Yuta failed, where a character like Kashimo failed, where a character like Higuruma failed, where a character like Gojo failed, where all these separate characters failed, that would make me like Panda more. That would make me hate him even more. Because he would take away, once again, it's the issue. Panda doesn't add anything. He just takes away. He takes away from the serious of scenarios, from the impact of other characters, and the weight of other characters, and the weight of the story itself. He is a subtraction. He is a net negative. I don't like that. Let's see.
I want to say this. There is a massive difference between relying on someone's power completely and being able to fight alongside somebody in the process. And to give a very similar example, Yuta and Rika Orimoto. While Yuta does definitely use Rika's strength in order to help him in battle, Yuta is still able to fight alongside Rika. Yuta has still put in the work to make sure that he is worth being kept around, and he's not just purely Rika. Unlike Panda, whose Panda's only worth is being a pure vessel to his brothers, because he needs someone else in order to be useful. Because he needs to take on the form of someone else, take on the body of someone else in order for him to have meaning. And it's for that reason that I hate Panda, because Panda outside of his siblings has absolutely no worth, and the one thing that he could have worth on, he doesn't even get to exit the series with. But that's just my opinion on why I hate Panda. I hope you all enjoy this video. I'm gonna see y'all later. Peace out. And most of all, thank you all for getting me to 7K. I love y'all. Have a good day. Hey, you. Yeah, you. I'm here to hook you up with some really good anime.
Okay, but I'm not. I'm sorry. Flame, I'll let that run individually, but that's like 1 minute and 34 seconds. So, I'm all out on that. I'll let that run after the camera stops. But, with that being the case, good stuff. Good stuff. Good stuff. Once again, he's lessened. Like, if he's like, how do I put this? Say I had the full Infinity Gauntlet. He removed 1 Infinity Stone, but removed it and like slightly lifted it above. The aspect of Panda's loyalty as a character, and the aspect of Panda as like a. Then again, at the same time as he made Panda's actually in the same spot for me. Because it made me like him less. Because he made me hard realize that he doesn't do anything on his own. It's always been for his siblings, or through his siblings. And the moment those siblings were gone, he was reduced to worthlessness. So when I was actually about to praise He's still down in the dumps. So honestly, Panda, he's just trash. He's just doo-doo. He's just booty meat. And unfortunately not good booty meat. So that's it. It's sad. It's sad that it has to be that way. But it's unfortunate. It's unfortunate. I do think the title is apt though. Panda, how a character got turned into a joke. Honestly, if I made the title, once again, my titles are really long and really dramatic because I like being dramatic. Hey, look at a former drama kid. So it'd be like that. It'd be like that. I'd be like Panda, how a joke refuses to become a character, or is unable to become a character because it's just not allowed to. But I understand that title. I understand that video. This was some gas. It's Eternal Flame. I knew it was gonna be gas, but indubitably, undeniably, unbelievably gas. Unbelievably gas. As expected of Eternal Flame. But yes, absolutely wonderful video. Fantastic analysis. Did things for the character that I didn't even consider. And I think that's fantastic. And honestly, very, very, very good stuff. And I'm happy bro got sponsored. I think that's what that ad at the end. I'll listen afterwards. Once again, though, I'm not sponsored. So I'm not going to play the ad. But if you want to check out the ad and you want to check out what he's got, please go to Eternal Flame's channel. It'll be linked in the description down below, along with the link to the original video. Go check it out. Like I said, this video ended up being 8 minutes and 2 seconds long. I'm looking at the recording time right now. I've been here for 45 minutes. I've more than like quintuple the length of this video. So clearly, if you want to hear it with way less yapping, please go check him out. Even if you do not want to hear it, please go check him out. Like, man's at 7K. Get him to 8K. Get him to 10K. Get him to 50K. Get him to 100K. Gosh darn it. He deserves it. Fantastic content creator. Hope you guys enjoyed. If you made it all the way to the end of this video, please leave empty vessel. Leave empty vessel in the comment section down below. After thank you so much for watching. Please leave a like, share, comment, and subscribe. Make sure you hit that little notification bell so you not miss out on any videos that come to the channel. Also, I do have a Patreon down below where you can support me for as little as $1 a month. Things like exclusive videos, early content, and more. You also now become a member of the channel for as little as $3 a month to get the same perks and more. Some of those perks will include live reactions to the very next chapter of Jujutsu Kaisen, ad-free variations of all my videos, and if you become a $25 patron or a $25 member, you will be able to order whatever video you want. Now, thank you so much for watching once again, and I hope you guys have a wonderful day. This is Dagger the Pencil, writing off. I'd like to give a thank you to our $3 members, O'Connor Plays, Greyhound, Akids Void, Astro, and Red Wolf 4765. I'd like to give another thank you to our $5 patrons, Victor, Steron, Sean, RNG Master, Midnight Lord 21, Kevin, Jermaine, Igneal, EHAC1, and Demix LND. And I'd like to give another thank you to our $7 members, Autumn, Mornings Lazo, Sick Addiction, and Jan Toma. And I'd like to give another gargantuan thank you to our $10 member, Jay Warrior. And I'd like to give another thank you to our two $10 patrons, Joaquin and Item Okami. And I'd like to give a hefty thank you to our $25 member, Alex Ice Rose. And I'd like to give another gargantuan thank you to our $25 patron, Winter. Another hefty thank you to our $25 patron, China Doll 09. And a final gargantuan thank you to our $25 patron, Calvin Elder.